One of the big pleasant surprises of this past year, although we heard good things were coming from it, was the Seth Rogen show, The Studio. And it was just its first season and it started winning awards. Well, a couple of days ago, the BAFTAs happened. And surprise, surprise, the studio won again. But it officially now makes it the single most successful new comedy series of all time. The folks over at Variety writing, Apple TV's The Studio sets record for a freshman comedy after the BAFTA TV win and award season sweep. Apple TV's The Studio added the final marquee trophy to one of the most dominant awards runs in modern television history on Sunday, taking the international category at the BAFTA Television Awards in London on Sunday night. After taking home the top prizes at the Primetime Emmys, it won at the Golden Globes, it won at the Actor Awards, the PGAs, the DGAs, the WGAs, and now cemented its place in history as the most decorated freshman comedy ever produced. And when I still remember when I watched the first episode, I'm like, oh my, because we had heard from people saying, guys, this new series we got coming out, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. And, we hear people say that all the time. But then we watched The Studio and it was utterly ridiculous of how fantastic it was. And for those of us who have been in these studio boardrooms, and for those of us who have taken these kinds of meetings, and for those of us who have been around these kinds of people, there was this amazing balance between utter absurdity, but uncomfortably true and real. Like everything you ever saw on screen in The Studio, exaggerated, maybe a little, but all rooted in this is freaking daily occurrences in Hollywood, man. You think it's some buttoned up thing behind the scenes, but it can be an absolute madhouse. I shouldn't tell this story, but I will. For a number of years, I would put on these Masters of the Web panels and parties. Sometimes there were other people doing it. For a bunch of years, it was me. And we had this Masters of the Web party. And this one party, it was like one of the first years I was involved in it. It was being headed up by a couple of other guys at the time. I won't say who. And there was this big after party in this hotel that we went to, but it was in like the hotel suites, much like the old school Hollywood buffet episode of The Studio. And I went in there and I remember, and I walked into this one room. I was looking for the bathroom. I walked into this one room and there was one studio president literally with a stripper over his lap as he's spanking her. And I'm like, welcome to Hollywood. But that's the thing about this show. Like it was ridiculously hilarious. And yet for people like us who live around here, it was also, I can't believe they're talking about this out loud. I can't believe they're actually enacting some of this stuff. Like it was, again, some of it exaggerated. Yes, but it was always rooted in truth. Anyway, Rob, we're looking at the most successful run ever for a new comedy, swept all the award season stuff. What was the magic sauce to you that made this show such a success?
Oh, well, I think that they go there.
Right.
That they literally, in this day and age, to see, I mean, it's a skewering of, obvious Hollywood's patting itself on the back because of its skewering of Hollywood. But what I love about The Studio is it's both funny, but it's also insightful. Because everyone thinks, well, this is so ridiculous, but it is commenting. It is a meta commentary on the ridiculousness of the entertainment business. I mean, my first regular job in Hollywood was I worked for the senior vice president of physical production at Warner Brothers, Bill Young. And we were now physical production is not as high up as the creative executive. I mean, the creative side, the people that met with the writers. We were physically in charge of making the movies, but we were all in the same building.
Right.
So I had to go in and out of all of these executive offices, drop off call sheets and production reports all day long. So I saw a lot of this and I had to sit in on meetings and all this craziness. And this show is surprisingly unafraid to go after these the whole system. And even agents, you know, and when everything here, but they do it in a way that there's enough grounding in it. And I got to give a shout out to Seth Rogen, because at the BAFTAs, he dedicated the award that the series won to Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah.
And one of the things I thought was really great about the first season was how they dealt with her, how she was a former studio head or mucky muck in that world, and then she had gotten her production deal. You know, they ship you off and they give you a production deal and you become Amy Pascal and go produce Spider-Man movies. And I thought that was
win
really,
Oscars.
yeah, and win Oscars. And they made her character, like, at first they made it seem like she was crazy or insane, but as you saw her dealing with Seth Rogen and their relationship, it was a really human relationship. And so that show is working on many different levels. And I love it as a Hollywood satire. You know, it's almost like Patty Chayefsky writing Network about TV back in the 70s. It's really a good show.
Yeah.
And it's very smart, and it has a lot to say. So it's not surprising. And the cast is great. It's great. I mean, everybody's great. And the fact that they bring all these, I mean, Martin Scorsese doing the Kool-Aid movie about Guyana. And then the actual, they had to bury it because they have to make the Kool-Aid.
It was so good. The Golden Globes episode 2 was like Sal Saperstein. I was waiting for somebody to do that at the Kevin Hart roast. Guys, we want to take a second and thank a sponsor of today's video, Hims. You know, one of the hardest things about trying to lose weight is just figuring out what actually works. Because we've seen them all. There are a million trends, diets, and gimmicks out there, and honestly, it can get overwhelming. And that's why weight loss by Hims really stands out. Hims now offers access to an affordable range of FDA-approved GLP-1 medications, including the Wegovy pill at its lowest price ever, and the Wegovy pen. With Wegovy at Hims, lose up to 20% or more of your body weight when combined with diet and exercise. It helps you regulate your appetite and eat less, so success is within reach. Plus, Wegovy is the first ever and only GLP-1 available in a pill for weight loss, so there are no needles needed. And the process is extremely convenient. Everything happens online. You connect with a licensed provider who determines if treatment is right for you, and if prescribed, your medication gets delivered right to your door. No insurance necessary. Ready to reach your goals? Visit hims.com/Campea to get a personalized, affordable plan that gets you. That's HIMS.com/Campea. hims.com/Campea. Based on advertised cash price for 30-day supply of medication only. Membership required, fee not included, and billed separately. Weight loss by Hims is not available in all 50 states. Wegovy is the registered trademark of Novo Nordisk A.S. To get started and learn more, including important safety information, Wegovy clinical study information, and restrictions, visit hims.com. Anyway, guys, question is for you. It is now the end of the award season for the studio, which has been going on a long time, but it literally just swept up everything. What did you think about the studio, and why do you think it's had this kind of success? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show Podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.